Good morning, y'all. Yep, it's that type of morning because all the eyes of college football are going to be focused solely on Tuscaloosa, Alabama for the mega matchup between Georgia and Alabama with all types of SEC and CFP ramifications. Kalen DeBoer's legacy starting to be written as a non-Southerner down in the deep South. We'll see how this one ends up, but that's not the game that I'm really concerned about. I have two games that I think have massive implications on the Heisman race and the draft. QB1 in particular. The Heisman race to me was opened up a little bit. There's a window that I think two players can insert themselves right into, and they're two players that are near and dear to my heart because of my allegiances to my alma mater, Boise State. Yes, I'm talking about Ashton Jeanty, who averages over 10 yards per carry. Humongous game tonight. A little preview of the 2026 Pac-12 After Dark. Washington State, the Cougs are coming to visit the blue helmet, blue jersey, blue pants, heck, maybe even blue shoes on blue turf. Boise State Broncos, my alma mater, coached there in 2014 as well. This is a humongous game. It's going to be exciting. The Cougs with John Mateer, the quarterback that can do it all. He runs it. He throws it. He's gutty. He's tough. It's going to be a high-scoring affair. Kyle Williams, the big-time wide receiver. I'm excited to watch this football game, but I think that this is going to be a Heisman-defining type of a night with all the eyes of the late-night viewers. They got their Taco Bell, nursing a bit of a daytime hangover, if you will. Watching on FS1, the Boise State Broncos tonight. I guess it's at 10 o'clock Eastern time on FS1, Boise State and Washington State. This is going to be a phenomenal matchup. I love Boise State leaning all the way into Ashton Jeanty, carrying this football. Wouldn't be surprising to see him go for over 200 and over 3 touchdowns on the ground. Ashton Jeanty is the best running back in college football. I believe he has Bijan Robinson type draftable qualities. I think that this is going to be an unbelievable showcase game for Ashton Jeanty to re-enter into the Heisman discussion. The reason why, Cam Ward, yes, he had his showcase statement game for the Heisman voters. We were told that, right, by ESPN? That wasn't so pretty. Got the win in a very controversial manner. In my humble opinion, the call on the field probably should not have been made a touchdown on the Hail Mary-ish type throw from Kyron Jones in Virginia Tech. But on the flip side, if it's called a touchdown, there was nowhere near enough evidence on the video replay 6 minutes later to say, yeah, it's not a touchdown. Too much at stake. I just didn't like how that game ended. But more than that, Cam Ward, while he did throw for over 325, 340 yards, he had 3 turnovers that he accounted for. That's something that I think, as it relates to quarterback one, that's something that Shedeur Sanders never has done in his time as a CU Buff. He only has 2 interceptions on this year total. Cam Ward had 2 interceptions and a fumble that he was responsible for. Shedeur Sanders, to me, has an opportunity to further his case at UCF tonight as QB1 of this draft class. Shedeur Sanders, if you look back at his time as a starting quarterback, the only time that he's had any form of issues with turning the football over, it was his true freshman year at Jackson State. He threw for 30 touchdowns, 8 interceptions, well over that 3-1 mark. Last year, taking incredible care of the football. He just doesn't fumble. Not only does he have the clutch gene, he wins games at the end of games. He did it last week against Baylor. He's done it against TCU the year before, did it against Colorado State, did it against Arizona State. He's got that unbelievable gene at the end of the games. And I think that's what NFL scouts know a real quarterback that's going to be a top 5 player in the National Football League at the position. They all have that trait to be able to win games at the end and also not have any turnover worthy plays. Shedeur Sanders is solely in QB1 position for this draft. The other Heisman Trophy candidate, and I think it would be absolutely egregious for Travis Hunter to not win the Heisman Trophy this year. He is doing something that nobody has done in the history of college football, at least in the modern game. He is elite as a corner. He's a takeaway machine when thrown to. He does eliminate a side. And then on the offensive side of the ball, he just keeps going for 100 plus as a receiver. He can impact the game as a returner when chosen to be in those types of spots. Travis Hunter is doing things that nobody on planet Earth can do. This guy has got to be your Heisman winner, but he's got to have a Heisman-worthy performance today at UCF. The game starts at 3:30 East Coast time. I love this matchup for both teams. I think it's going to be a fascinating football game. KJ Jefferson and the UCF Knights with RJ Harvey as the running back. This team can run the football, first in the country right now in rushing average per game. It's going to be a tremendous test for CU's defense. If CU can find a way to win this football game, it's going to be because of the playmaking ability of Travis Hunter, furthering his case as Heisman Trophy candidate #1 coming out of this pivotal week 5. Jalen Milroe has a chance to enter the conversation as well with a massive game against Georgia. I think that after this weekend, CU with the big upset, huge 2-touchdown underdogs at UCF, Shedeur Sanders with another heroic type of a final drive of the game to win this game close. Travis Hunter with either an interception or the game-winning touchdown to cement himself as the Heisman Trophy frontrunner after 5 weeks of college football. It's going to be great, y'all. I cannot wait for this day of football. Make sure you're watching that game tonight. It's going to be the best game in college football. I promise you. Boise State hosting Washington State. The Cougs, they're going to do what they do. They're going to blow it at the end. They're going to Coug it. Hate to say it, but I love my Boise State Broncos. Enjoy the day of college football.